What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Virzi Effect Podcast Show. My name is Paul Virzi. You guys are listening to episode 517, but probably with the new video stuff. This is, I don't know, 60 something. I don't know. Either way, I'm so thrilled. I told you guys I was going to have amazing guests coming up towards the end of the year into next year. And today is no exception. I am sitting here with somebody I cry laughing with. Okay. It's always a pleasure. We kind of come from the same time in New York. I mean, she's probably been doing it right around, we started almost the same time. The hilarious, unbelievably funny Jessica Kirson. You know her from her Comedy Central special. You know her from Tonight Show. You just know how fucking funny you are, Jessica. Thank you so much for being on my show.
Thank you for having me, Paul. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm in bed. I
Yeah.
couldn't get out of bed. You know, there's a lot of depression, but like for you, I'm going to show up, you know.
Well, you know, you're one of those, like, same thing. Likewise, for you, I show up. We were supposed to start this about 15 minutes ago, and I loved you even more when you pushed it. See, this is the thing. Isn't it funny how we do this for a living, and we run all over the place for people. We do these things, but when we're really warm in bed, we either just want to cry or stay there all day.
Well, I always want to cry and stay in bed all day. Today was especially a depressed day. I don't know why, but I just woke up like this is just a horrible life. I don't know what's going on because really nothing bad is going on, but there's
Right.
just I don't know. It's just a weird time. I mean, it's that time of the year, you know, it's the end of the year, like it's all holiday shit coming up. It's just not a great time for
Oh,
people
so are
who
you one of those? Are you one of those people that get depressed around, like Hanukkah and Christmas and the holiday season? Do you get depressed about those or no?
You know, not normally too bad, but this year, it's just, I don't know. I'm just feeling a little down. It's not that I get to, I just hate this time of the year. I know I'm sounding so negative, but I am. Like, I'm a very negative person. So, I just, it's like I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal. It's because it's so pressuring with the
Yeah.
presents and having to show up. I'd rather just give to people who don't have anything and just
Yeah.
have fun. It just seems like it's always like there's things you have to do and presents you have to get and plans you have to make, and it's like
Yeah.
why? Why? For what?
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of pleasing other people. Like I grew
Right.
up in my parents were divorced when I was 5. My brother was 10. So we always had to separate holidays, and
Me too.
we always had to make every other person happy. Right. And
Hmm.
we're in the middle. We're just getting dragged. It's like, oh, well,
That's
we
me
gotta be there.
too.
Yeah, we gotta be there for
Yep.
dad. Well, that's probably why we do what we do in the middle of the night. Yeah, I don't think if we grew up stable, but no, it was like, oh, you can't upset dad. And then, oh, but mom's and me and my brother Christian were just in the middle running around. So I tell my wife now, I'm like, I want to stay home. Like we
Yeah.
have our kids, like let's let this be the home base. Let's let people come to us for once. Cause that's the one thing about the holidays that does bother me is that it seems like you're running around to please other people. Like it's a very, like, it's almost
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, right.
It's just ridiculous. It's just it's so much, like I said, it's so much pressure. And it's like, and also another thing is in our business, which a lot of people probably don't know, is everything slows down. So comics have a hard time because there's not as many emails, there's not as many gigs. It's like, and I don't know about you, but I've been talking to a lot of, I was at the Cellar last night and people were talking about it. It's like, you know, people start freaking out, like the business is shutting down, and you know,
Yeah.
they start getting worried about gigs and this and that, and it's a hard time of the year, and I feel like it's just a hard time in general. It has been for a while. It's just a weird world right now. It really is.
It is. Even though things are coming back, it is, things have changed. I think it's kind of changed forever, but
So
Um,
do I.
I think things have just kind of changed forever, put things into perspective. I actually did something this year I never did before. I just said I'm taking December off and I'm being home with my family. Um,
That's
I'm
amazing.
I'm not working in December. I have one gig tomorrow at a casino, and I just did not put any avails into any clubs. I'm literally going to drive my wife. I mean, I might get divorced because I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here for 30 days. My wife just said, God
Oh,
help me. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere, but I mean, I like taking my kids out. I like taking my daughter ice skating. I like going out with my
oh,
son. I like taking them to the mall. And it's so many years, Jessica, of this
yeah.
business of, oh, well, dad's going to the airport and dad's doing this. And I just said, you know what? Pandemic put into perspective like what's important. So I said,
Hmm.
you know what? I'm going to take December off, be with you guys. And then I told my agent, let's load up. I have another special that's going to be coming out early next year. And then I'm going to go on tour again. But sometimes time off, even if it's only like 3 weeks, I mean, to a comic, that seems like an eternity. But if you're off for just a few weeks and you could like decompress and just kind of
Yes.
live your life a little bit, we need that. And it's good for our heads too.
Oh, I think that's so smart, Paul. I think that's a really good decision. I really
Yeah.
do. I'm so jealous right now
Yeah.
because I have so much work right now and I just
Yeah.
want to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
I have to go to the Rectal Hut this weekend, which is the Rectal Hut. Have you ever played there?
No,
The
where is
Rectal
that?
Hut? Yeah, I can't believe that you're believing what I'm saying because
No,
I just
I thought when you said rectal, I was like, I started to laugh, and then you kept such a
yeah, I'm
straight face.
joking. I called
Oh,
it the Rectal Hut.
the
No,
rectal hut down in Sarasota.
yeah, yeah. I had to plow my way into that one. But anyway, no, it's no, I have a lot of gigs coming up this month, but then it like slows down. You know how it's like you have stuff
Yeah.
because that's how it is. It's cyclical, but I really wish that I didn't have a lot happening right now because I feel like I need a break. I'm burnt out. I'm tired. I've been doing a lot of road work, so as you know, it's exhausting and I love being home with my kids. I love it.
Yeah, well, this is, the thing about you and I, which is similar, is, and this is why I think me and you, I've always, you always have a mutual respect for somebody that there's always a mutual respect when you see the work that's put in, and
Yeah.
it's not fake, and it's not a I'll never knock somebody's hustle for putting food on the table, but I also can respect certain things, and I know what you do, but you are the type of person that I love in this business because it's what I do, and I put everything I have in my heart and soul on stage. And even when we're tired and even when
Yeah.
we're running around and we don't want to be away from our kids, once our name gets announced,
Yeah.
whether we're in Texas or Florida or New York City, once our
Yeah.
name gets announced, we go up there, and we go up there with the mission to absolutely fucking murder and have
Yeah.
people go, this is one of the funniest shows I've ever seen here. And I know that's what you do, and I know that's what you bring, and that's who you are. And nobody ever says anything other than Jessica is just an absolute. I'm not trying to make, I know it's hard for comedians to take compliments, but Jessica's an absolute, monster. She's so funny, she's so hard to follow. But that's just because the effort and the care you put in, because you donated your life to this. You didn't get into this. Me and you didn't get into this to be podcast hosts.
No.
We didn't get into this to do all the YouTube or TikTok. I'm not gonna, dance. I mean, I'll do fun shit, but
Hmm.
we got into this because I don't know who your hero was. My hero was Eddie Murphy. We got into this because we had a gift to tell stories, make people laugh. We had our comedic heroes, and we wanted to be great at one thing, and that's stand up. And that shows in your performance, and hopefully it shows in mine. But like that's what we're kind of doing, and that's what I respect. So it's exhausting for us because when we get off the plane, we got to go to the hotel, rest,
Yeah.
and then we put our heart and soul into what we do. And that's what I respect so much about you.
Thank you so much. And I feel the same exact way about you. You just kill on stage and give 110%. And we are very similar that way. I do it if there's two people in the audience
That's
or
it.
2000. I mean, that's how I am. I always have been like that. And I believe that the audience is there for a show and it's my responsibility to give that to them. I had a funny experience. It's not funny, but I was at the club last night in the city, and a comic followed me, and this person has a show on television on a major network and is a major writer on another show, a very major show on TV, and had to follow me, 15-minute spot, $50 spot in New York City, and I had a very good set, and had to follow me and went up and trashed me, after my spot. Now I'm on the road. This happens to
Wow.
me all the time. And I'm on the road, busting my ass, making some money, but not near as much money as this person on the road.
Sure,
Again,
sure.
has their own show, has
Yeah,
their own show, like the da 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 show on television,
yeah,
and a huge writing job and a ton of other shit, and probably filling theaters on the road, and still had to knock me, because the egos on some of
yeah,
these comics. I mean, just to have to follow someone who does well for
yeah,
15 minutes, it's
yeah.
like that's the thing that's hard for me. And I used to, Paul, take it down a notch. Like, this is crazy. I used to take it down a notch, like at the Comedy Cellar or the Stand or some of these clubs. I used to go, let me try not to like kill so that like I don't want to make it uncomfortable for other people, or I don't want them to trash me.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Right. And then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this is nuts. I'm not going to take down my stuff. And then for a while I would like run out of the room because I didn't want to hear them trash me because it was so uncomfortable. After I'd get off stage, I'm like, oh God, I don't want to hear them say something. But it happened last night where I heard like, oh, I'm not going to bring that kind of energy. I mean, that's nuts what she just did. And meanwhile, I killed. So the audience was like, what are
Yeah.
you doing? Like, we
I,
love her.
I first of
I'm
all,
sure that's happened to you.
first,
It's
yeah,
had to have happened because you
no,
kill. Yeah.
first of all, I love you. I love having you on the show. That is such a great, honest thing to say. And that's why I love doing podcasts with you, because that's what people need to hear. Yes, that has happened to me. Now, I found two different types of people that do that. I found people that would be like, Jesus, look at fucking Paul's sweater. What was he like?
Yeah, that too.
A fifth grade. Now, some comics did it. I knew comics that did it without malice, that wanted to just get a laugh and get into their thing.
Yeah.
I still don't like it.
Yeah.
It's still like, just go up there and do your shit and don't bring me into it. But,
Hmm.
but I love what you said at the end there, because the crowd is never with that, because
Never.
they loved us. So it's almost like, oh, the crowd is like dogs. They sense what's going on,
Exactly.
and they were like, "Oh, wait a minute, no, she just fucking killed.
Yeah.
You're a big name, that has a
Yeah.
TV show. So now you need to knock something great that just happened, so you
Hmm.
can like reset it to your shit, instead of saying, "Oh my god, dude, how funny is she?"
Right.
That's I feel like that's a real insecure thing. I think, like, I used to be worried when I first started headlining, Jessica, and somebody killed before me, I would be insecure. I've been doing this long enough now. When somebody's killing before me, I'm like, oh, that's a good crowd, I'm gonna kill. So though,
Yeah.
yeah, that, but never take down your shit, because it's like,
Whoa.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I haven't done that in years,
right.
but it's just incredible to me because there was like not just one comment, there were like three or four, and it was very uncomfortable. And then this person bombed. Like, it was actually fun for me to watch because
Oh,
it was
because that's karma, and that's beautiful. Yeah,
right, it was beautiful. But it was like I don't even want to touch this mic because she coughed in the mic. I mean, it was so ridiculous. It was so, and the crowd was just staring like, what are you doing? And it would have been so much better to just be like, wasn't she great? Wow, give her a hand. And then would have killed. I mean, it just was so egotistical for $50 for 15 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
just it's amazing how much ego these comics have. Like, how much do you need? You're making millions of dollars. You have
Yes.
television shows. You have a head writing job. You're famous. How much do you need? Like,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable to me.
I'm able now and wise enough in this business to know that all that person did, and I'm sure you know this. I mean, you always talk about how your mother's a
Yeah.
psychologist, right? So
Yeah.
you're I'm sure you're able to read what people do, but we're old enough now in the business to know that that's a projection of their insecurity, and
Oh, sure.
they know how
Yeah.
good you are.
Yeah.
You went up at one of the most popular comedy clubs in New York City, the country, and you crushed. And then they had to go on, and the only thing that they had, because of their ego, because of their insecurity, was to knock a killing set. And the other thing is, like, Bobby Kelly said something great, where Bobby goes, we're comedians together. Like, we should be in the mob. Keep your mouth shut about the other
I
person.
know. I can't, Paul, I feel the same way. I have such a strong opinion about that.
Yes.
I feel the same way. And then people will say, "No, that's not true. You should." No, I'm old school that way.
Yeah.
I'm very much into the brotherhood, sisterhood thing. I don't believe that you should publicly there's so many comics now that are publicly attacking other comics. I'm not saying you shouldn't have opinions
Right.
and talk about it, but it just is so odd to me because who the fuck are you? Are you
Yeah.
perfect? You've done a lot of shit. Like, that's,
Yeah.
be careful what you start saying, because
Yes.
all of a sudden your skeletons are going to come out, you idiot. You've done
Yeah.
shit too.
Yeah, it's amazing that, like, people will sit down and be like, so even like when it's a scandal that nobody has any, like, really, like, if like an accusation comes out, I don't want to
Yeah.
go on a podcast with comedians and go, so what do you think about this? And that person's got a family, and now they could be
I know.
destroyed. It's like, listen, until things come out and things are known. And how about this? Let's talk about it at the table at the comedy club alone. Let's talk
Right.
let's talk about it in private when the cameras are off or the podcasts are off, and we could talk amongst ourselves, before we go on a set at
I
the stand.
know.
But, like, yeah, this openly publicly thing about, like, comedians, like, just like talking and airing people out, it's really, you said it best, man. It's not the old school way that comedians used to kind of have a brotherhood, just like it used to just be this thing where we were together and we would, like, be supportive.
Yeah.
And
Well, those people are biting the hands that feed them. It doesn't work because what happens is like, then, the comedy community in general is not going to really trust you.
right.
They're not going to want to have you around. It's like, because the truth is, like, you don't know what really happened until you know all the facts, and there's really the truth. There's what he said, she said, and then there's the truth. And that's really it's like, you can't just believe what you read on Twitter, and you can't just believe one person's side. And also, like, if someone says something, again, these people who are judging other people publicly and saying things and tweeting things, it's like, you've said a lot of shit in the past. Do you remember every single thing
Yeah.
that you said on a
Yeah.
podcast or you said on stage? Because something might come out. You start judging other people, just wait, because you
Yeah.
probably said something that's not okay. And it's going to come out one day.
Yeah. Yeah,
And you're
man.
going to
Like,
look like a fucking idiot.
yeah. Yeah. Karma's a bitch. And yeah. And another thing that I love that you did is, and I know we talked about it a long time ago, so I won't harp on it, but I know that they came after you, and
Mhm.
you did exactly what we all should be doing in this business, is never back down or apologize for
No.
jokes, for things that you said. You can never ever do that. And I know that you had issues with friends. I'm sure you lost some friends. I'm sure that things got awkward with some people that you might have been cool with, but you stuck to your guns. And that's what we need to do. Like I say on stage to people, like sometimes I'll be on stage and I'm going, guys, these are jokes. Listen, you're either going to like it and be a fan for life,
Mhm.
or you don't have to come to, like, fuck off. We're out of each other's lives. You don't have to watch my thing, but we're at a show now. And that's one thing for fans to comment. But when comedians do, it's
Yeah.
it's two things. It's jealousy and it's insecurity, but it's also gross. It's gross because you're almost trying to interject yourself to get people to look at you
Oh,
while
sure.
putting gross stuff on somebody. It's really disgusting. So I admire that you did that, and you never, and not only did you not apologize, but you came out. I was like, oh my God. It was I was like, is Jessica part Italian? You just, not only did you not apologize, but you go like, I'm not like you went harder. You
No.
were like, fuck you people. And you were like, and I was just like, oh my God, this is incredible. She's just like sticking to her guns, and it was amazing.
Well, I'll tell you why I'm like that. First of all, I probably am part Italian somehow, but it's being Jewish is also kind of like that. I'm a
Yes.
business person. I'm not going to take shit from anyone. I've had a hard time in life, like a lot of people, and I've worked hard to get where I am, very hard. And there's about three comics that turned on me and, um, you know, sent me message and also went at me on Twitter. I will never ever speak to them again. So that's how I am. I'm a Scorpio. So it
Oh, so
takes a
so am I.
while.
So am
Oh,
I.
right. So
Yeah,
so
yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
push me. It takes a lot, but you push me to a certain point. I will never. You're out. You're done. I will never speak to you again. It takes a lot, but that's
Wow,
who I
you're like
am.
that. Yo, my wife would say the same thing. Like for me, it takes a lot.
A lot.
You've known me for a long.
Yeah.
This is who I am.
Me
I'm
too.
I'm very easygoing. I
Mhm.
will treat everybody the way that I want to
Yeah.
be treated with respect. But you cross that line
That's it.
to hurt me, to intentionally hurt me, it's a wrap. It's
Me
a fuck.
too. I will never even look at you.
Yeah, yeah,
Done.
yeah,
Done.
yeah.
So
That's
that's that. And the fact that people that knew me, these are people that knew me, know my character for 20 years and still thought that I was doing something that was mean-spirited. That's why it was so disgusting that even knowing me and knowing who I am and still turned on me and thought that me, Jessica Kirsten, was being mean-spirited is sick because I'm not mean-spirited and they know
no,
that.
no. You're
Um, and
furthest
I
thing
won't
from it.
apologize because I didn't do anything wrong.
Right,
And
right.
and I can say whatever the fuck I want on stage, and I will never let anyone silence me. I will never let anyone tell me what I can and can't say on stage. That's why I'm a comedian. That's why I became a comedian.
Yeah,
And the only way I'll stop saying something on stage is if I feel in my heart and soul that it's not okay to say it. If
right.
I feel that it feels wrong. Do you understand? Like
Yeah.
that's when I'll stop saying it. Not because someone says it's not okay. And it's amazing because I don't think people have become very sick on both sides. But if you're going to talk about like the ultra extreme liberal side, and I say this as a joke, but it's really true. I mean, I was always a liberal because I eat box. I mean, it's hilarious. I talk about it on stage like that. I mean, I'm married to a woman, so of
Yeah.
course that's my
Yeah.
thing. But I mean, I'm very on the middle on a lot of subjects, on a lot of different issues. I'm very in the middle
So am I.
now.
Yeah.
Now I am. Um,
I am
and
too.
right, so that's okay. I can be whatever the hell I want to be. Um, but these people, on Twitter and that come to shows, they're so sensitive and
Yeah.
so triggered and so liberal. And it's like, you can't come to a comedy show
Like that.
and
Like
you shouldn't even be on Twitter because you're insane. You're sick in the head. I mean, everything I say, if I talk about white cheese, what about brown cheese? I mean, it's
yeah.
like, Jesus Christ, you have to go talk to someone. You literally need to go get help because you're
That
psychotic.
that's
There's something wrong.
yeah. And I think that having these platforms are letting mentally ill people, you're right.
I agree with you
Th- th-
100%.
These people, if there was no social media, they'd be going to a psychiatrist every other day, and they would
They'd be
be
in a hospital. They'd
they'd
be in
be
a
in,
mental institution.
right. And now they get to hear somebody with an opinion, and their sickness comes out on social media, and it really is yeah, it's amazing. But as long as we do what we do, and we don't and we never change, and we don't apologize, that's
No.
that's what has to do. I wanted to I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. So I wanted to ask you, because I was thinking about this, okay? And we're both long ways away from this, but I don't want to do this job when I'm old. Like, I was thinking
No.
about when you walk away. Like, the last thing I want to do is be on a
Oh,
plane in my late 60s or early 70s going to like
yeah.
Tampa, you
Yeah.
know?
How's everyone doing? What do you do for a living? Is anyone
Yeah.
celebrating
Like,
anything?
if I'm limping down the fucking like
Yeah.
walk to the plane, like if I'm on the tarmac in pain because of my arthritis,
Yeah.
something went really wrong in my
Yeah.
career. Like, I want to see my kids, my kids go through like college and stuff. But when I get to an age where like I want to just sit on a beach with my wife, and like I'm not doing this. I love comedy. So
No, I know.
I would hopefully I get to the point where I make a name for myself, where I could always kind of do a spot and people would be, but like as far as like traveling all over, like
A traveling clown.
I was
That's what I
thinking
call
about when
myself.
you said a
Yeah.
traveling clown. Yeah, like I don't want to do this. I want to do it like leave on my terms, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. I totally feel the same way. If I'm doing this when I'm 60, I forget it. Well, I'll go to 60. I
I
mean,
was thinking that. I'll definitely go to 60. I'll definitely go to 60 or 65, but I got to be honest, that's
me
got to be the
too.
max.
That's it. I mean, that's it. I'm gonna die. I'll kill myself if I go past that. I'll take my own life.
It'll be like a
100%.
swan song. You'll have a great set at the cellar, and then just kill yourself.
I'll have a great set on like on the rooftop show, and then I'll jump. That'll be my last show. I'll just jump off right after my last punchline.
You guys have been fantastic, and you
Yeah,
just
you
need
guys
to
have been
forget.
great, and I'll just jump right off the rooftop. That's literally what I'll do.
Oh
But
shit.
no, you know
Oh,
what? I'm actually just as much or more into producing as I am into stand up. So I really am trying to get into that
yeah,
also because I love to produce stuff and I love stand up, but a little sick of it. I'll always do it. I
of
always
course.
love doing it, but the grind that I'm doing now, which is a lot. I'm like, like you're doing the 5, 6 shows a week. It's a lot. It's getting to be a lot. It's exhausting. And I don't want to do it for more than like 10 more years. It's real. Like you're saying, one show here. I mean, even if it were like one a week, one every 2 weeks, one every 3 weeks, a special occasion, one a month. But like this grind is just,
Oh yeah,
I
yeah. No,
can't. Yeah.
no. You're gonna want to, relax with your kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you've
I
done.
want to I want to just take drug. I mean, like at the end of my life, I just want to relapse and take every drug I never took. I just want to be a drug addict.
Oh my God!
So that everyone can.
Imagine just like the twilight of your life. You just were doing blow in Vegas, and you lived
That's
like you
all
were.
I want to do. I want to try heroin. I just want to be a fucking drug addict in my compound and just die that way.
Did you? Did you? Did you? Did you do? You did drugs or no?
Yes, I'm sober. I'm completely sober. I'm a drug addict, so I'm sober.
So it wasn't alcohol.
I haven't had a drink in 22 years, believe it or not.
Oh,
But
okay.
I've relapsed on, Ambien, on pot, on different things, but I haven't had drugs in a long time either. And I can't do anything. So,
Yeah.
and then because I'm an addict, sometimes I'll do the food thing. So now I've been really good with that for the past couple of weeks. It's always something that I'm kind of battling with.
Yeah, and I
It's
think that
hard.
a lot of talented people have that. It's very bizarre how when I think, and it really is a thing where when you're in the arts like we are, I know that's a stupid thing to say, but like
It's
when
true.
you have that creative thing, when you create like that, there's something, there's something. It's
Yeah.
like whether it's a drink or whether it's a gambling, there's there's
I
yeah.
Paul, did you ever hear this? You'll love this. With us, like there's always four garbage cans and three lids. So there's
Yeah.
always one like garbage can. So if I'm not like, I love to gamble. So I could be gambling. If I'm not doing that, I could be shopping. If I'm not doing that, I could be eating. If I'm not doing that, I'm smoking pot. If I'm not doing that, I smoke cigarette. Like it's crazy. It's like I'm always looking for something to like fill that hole, to just like hurt myself, to, and it's the food stuff has always been the hardest before anything, because that was the first thing I started doing when I was a kid. I would just binge eat. I would always just want to eat, eat, eat. And that's the hardest to control because you have to eat, obviously.
Yeah.
And we're on the road all the time. So it's very hard. I mean, the
And
food stuff is tough.
especially when you're sober. Like if you're sober
Oh.
and you see a pizza or a cake, it's like it's like
I say during COVID, I stopped chewing, which is not a joke. I literally just fuck my face with food. I don't even chew. I slam food into. I say I'm a cutter. Like I don't cut my wrists, but I cut the inside of my mouth with Tostitos. So I'm a cutter on the inside. I
uh,
literally cut the inside of my mouth with food because I don't chew it.
why does why is food the greatest feeling ever? I mean,
It's
I could just keep eating.
Well, me too, because I literally hurt myself. I gag myself with food. I gag my throat.
You just roll a piece of pizza.
Just, I do.
But
It's crazy.
what you said, and I know we only have a couple more minutes here. You got to go. I said that, yeah, when you were just saying about the cans, the garbage cans, and not that's why we have to do this job too, because we can't be confined in one job. Like, could you
No,
imagine us in a cubicle? Could you imagine me in a cube? I would, after 10 minutes, I would just walk out. I've left jobs. I've quit jobs. I go,
me
hey, this is not
too.
going to happen. I just can't. You're not going to call me. I just can't do this. I would much rather
I
run
just
into it.
picture you being like a crazy animal and just running out with like just literally running out of the office
Oh, I would be throwing papers with a pencil in my mouth. I would just, I couldn't do it. I
like
couldn't
a
do it.
rabid animal. I know. I can't either. I can't be confined to anything. I know. I'm out of my mind.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Last thing I wanted to talk to you about, because we got to go in 2 minutes here. This was the fastest podcast ever because it's always
I
incredible.
know. I
I
know.
can't even believe it's over. I felt like I just
I
um
know.
your wife and my
Mhm.
wife are probably the same, where they're very organized, regimented,
Oh my
gotta do
God.
this, gotta do that. And we are like, they're almost like their other kids,
Of
right? Yeah.
course. Yeah. Yeah. I just got in trouble. I'm always in trouble. I'm in trouble 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
she's very anal OCD. Like everything I do, it's like there's a crumb there. What do you do? Like there's a schedule. There's like boards up everywhere with schedules and times. She's also a therapist. My mom's a therapist. It's
There's a
crazy.
there's a
She's on a
board up.
Zoom session in the other room. Oh, there's schedules. Yeah, there's the schedule things up with times and the kids and the whole thing. There's
Oh god.
Yeah, it's all she's Italian
Okay.
and very, very like very scheduled. I mean, same time, same, this is for dinner, like asks me the day before, what do you want for dinner? I have to go do this. This is the schedule for tomorrow, next month, a year from now. I mean, it's but if not, it would be a mess here.
I was just going to say we need that, them being the responsible ones, because we're not, because if both were like us, it would be Yeah, I mean,
This would be a shack. There would be like chickens running around and like, yeah, there would be no food in the house. It'd be a mess.
I would not know how to go to get insurance for health. There would
No,
be no dentists. There would be no.
you would have no teeth. The whole family would have no teeth.
I'd be on this
My kids would be like,
podcast with
"Ma."
a rotting mouth.
Oh yeah, my kids would have feces all over them. They would be a mess.
Jessica, I love you, man.
I love you so much,
dude, you're the
Paul.
best. You're the best. And I want to just tell you that there have been people that I worked with on the road recently. I was working with the house MC at the Stress Factory in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And she was saying, "Oh, the blonde girl, what's her name?"
Yeah, yeah, Alyssa.
Alyssa,
Yeah.
and she was Alyssa. She was so sweet, and nice, and she said, "Oh, you know, when your name comes up, Jessica's," and I was saying the nice things about you as well. So, it's mutual. I love you. You always have a friend in me, and
Oh, love you, Paul.
I love laughing with you and stuff. So, enjoy the rest of your week and the holidays, and I hope to run into you in the city. Enjoy your day today, and thank you so much for being on the Virzi Effect because you're fantastic.
Paul, I love you dearly. You know that. You're just a beautiful person and
I
you're
appreciate it.
brilliant. I love you, honey. I'll see you soon.
Okay, have a good day. All right, guys, that was Jessica Kirsten on this episode TVE 517. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Love Jessica. Check her out. Anything she does, man. She just put the time in. She put the time in, she put the work in. And you know, me and her kind of came up almost around the same time. She was probably a couple years before me. But just always loved running into her. She was always kind and nice, and always treats people with respect. So fucking funny. Hate to hear that people take shots at somebody like that, but that's what jealousy does, man. That's what jealousy does in this business. People have a really hard time seeing somebody do well and kill. They try to knock it, you know, because when you watch somebody killing, when you watch somebody do a bit, I'm sorry, something's in my eyes. When you watch somebody do a bit and it just murders, and you realize, oh, you probably can't murder like that, then the easy thing to do is to just take shots, to talk about this, to talk about that. It's an unfortunate thing, but you know, unfortunately, that's the nature of it's the nature of man. And by man, I mean people. Relax. I mean mankind. Oh, can I say that? Sorry. Man and she kind. I don't fucking know what I could even say. You guys know what I mean. But yeah, man. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I always enjoy talking to her because she's just so honest. You know, that's what I want to surround myself with in this business, and people that I want to talk to in this business, not just funny people, but just like fucking cool, honest people that get it, that kill, that have been in it. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. I will tell you guys this. Okay, I have one more show. Like I said, that's right. Tomorrow I'll be in Bensalem, Pennsylvania at the Parks Casino. I don't know if this podcast will be out by tomorrow, but whatever. Either way, it's my last fucking show. I took December off to be home with my family. And then we are going to hit it hard next year. Got the special coming out and all that. But yeah, what I wanted to do is thank everybody and all the fans of the Virzi Effect and Anything Better podcast that I co-host with Bill Burr. All of the fans of both podcasts that I do, I wanted to thank for coming out to the Stress Factory in Bridgeport, Connecticut. It was the Friday and Saturday after Thanksgiving. It's not on the beaten path. It's kind of like you have to know where you're going to get to that comedy club. So it's not like a lot of foot traffic. So I want to thank everybody who came out to any show, whether it was the first or second on Friday or the first or second show on Saturday. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being there. I hope you had a great time. It was fun to do over an hour almost on every show. I think I did over an hour on every show. working on some new stuff, but the crowds were great. The fans did come out, show up, show some support. So I can't thank you guys enough. For anybody listening to this that has seen me at the comedy clubs this year, any venue I've done this year, I can't keep mentioning all the cities because I've been so many places. I've been in so many states. But if you're listening to this and you were somebody that paid a ticket of admission to see me, anywhere I was, I just from the bottom of my heart want to thank you. Please tell a friend and let them know that, you know, I'm coming, man. You guys, if you've seen the show, you know that I'm coming hard. That sounded really weird. I don't do that at the comedy show, but you guys know that I give 110%, man, and put everything into the shows and love killing and being on stage and doing what I love to do. And you coming out just makes it all obviously more worth it. So thank you again. I don't have really anything to plug. I know the beginning of next year, I'll be going down south, probably Atlanta. I'm working on some dates with that. I'm already got some Rhode Island dates. I got some Texas dates. I got dates are just coming in right now. I'm working on it. So we are working on a whole schedule for 2022. When I do have announcements about the comedy special that's coming out early next year, you guys will obviously hear about that. A lot's being done with that in the next couple of weeks into January. So yeah, we'll let you guys know everything. And I just really wanted to thank you guys because nothing is doper than being on stage at some city in the middle of the country, the South, West, wherever, and getting off and having somebody go, hey man, I listen to both podcasts. I love listening to the Virzi Effect. I've been listening for a long time. It makes it worth it. So thank you guys so much. I have more guests that are going to be coming on the Virzi Effect. Got a guest next week. And there's going to be more guests. So we're going to do a little more. The Virzi Effect guest thing is going to go up a little bit more. And I'm going to try to do some live in-person stuff too now with, you know, going out West and using their studio. So you're going to be just seeing, you guys are going to be seeing a lot of me. All right. I hope that's okay. But if you're listening to this, then that means it is. I imagine you were listening to this and you didn't want to, you're like, oh, fuck. What else? I had a movie for you guys. I have a movie for you guys. I watched this movie on Netflix called The Woman in the Window with Amy Adams and Gary Oldman and Julianne Moore. And it's like a 2-hour psychological thriller. You don't know if she saw something, if she didn't see something. There's all kinds of psychiatry that she's getting. There's all kinds of medication and alcohol, and she sees something in the window and you're guessing and you're guessing. And then there's a twist and then there's another twist. And I got to be honest, I mean, didn't blow me away, but worth the watch. Thought the acting was fantastic. I was into it. It was gripping. I was watching the whole thing. So that gets the Virzi Effect. I'll give that one the Virzi Effect thumbs up for sure. Also, what else? As far as unacceptables for the week, I would just say, you know, I'll be a little biased and say the unacceptable for the week was a foul call last night. My Knicks went into that fucking rat house, that rat infested shithole, the Barclays Center, and we lost a heartbreaker, 112-110. Could have went either way. It was a great game, but it was whoever had the ball last. And unfortunately, we had it last with 2 seconds left and we couldn't cross half court. So it was almost a half court shot. What can you do? But there was a shitty foul call. I was upset about it. Don't think they should have called it that late in the game, but maybe it's a bias unacceptable. It's not the most crazy unacceptable by any stretch of the imagination. So that being said, I really don't have something to complain about. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I can tell you guys this. I will leave you guys with this. Okay. First of all, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I had a Thanksgiving where for the first time, And I got to give a shout out to my wife's side of the family. It wasn't a lot of us. It was my mother-in-law, my wife's aunt, her cousin, wife, baby, and just my family. It was low key. It was great. Nobody one time brought up a social issue, brought up politics, brought up any kind of controversy, any kind of conspiracy that they know. Nobody brought up anything that would make somebody who had another opinion feel uncomfortable. Not once. Shout out. So this is the opposite. How about this? How about acceptable for the week? Acceptable for the week on TVE 517. Okay. Is I did a Thanksgiving dinner with 0 arguments, 0 asshole comments, 0 fucking anything going on in the news of the world. It was talking football. It was talking food. It was talking wine. It was talking life. It was just fantastic. There was nothing. Got a little bit. My wife had some sort of like pumpkin pie, Bailey's Irish cream. And after a couple of those and a couple of bourbons and wine at dinner, I'm not going to lie, I got tuned up. The kid got a little tuned up at on Thanksgiving. Came home. You ever get drunk, but you're just sitting in a recliner, sleeping drunk, and you're watching TV, and the next day you're like, I got to watch that episode again. It was like that. But it was amazing to not have to deal with that. How many times have you been at a Thanksgiving dinner and there's one person going, I'll tell you the problem with the country today. I'll tell you what's going on with Joe Biden, or this is the thing when Donald Trump was president, and then these people need to be arrested, and this needs to do. And you're just sitting there eating your fucking cranberry sauce, listening. Somebody going, the problem, I mean, I had some brutal ones. Because I have some heavy opinionated people in my family. And I've had religious stuff come up at the table. You don't know what everybody else feels. Politics stuff, you don't know what everybody else feels. So there's always that little angst. You know, when you all sit down and conversation happens, anybody intelligent going, come on, man, please, let's just keep it like this. And it stayed like this. Acceptable. Keep that going this holiday season, everybody. It was fantastic. No drunk assholes acting like they're going to save the world while they're fucking 5 bourbons in. And the Lions lost. So it was a pretty regular Thanksgiving, but that is it for this episode of the Virzi Effect. There'll be another guest next week. I appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. I don't have dates to plug, but more dates will be added to the website. I'll be talking to you soon, but you can check out my YouTube channel, which we're always adding to. And you can check out the Anything Better podcast as well. And yeah, my new dates, hopefully next year I see you guys at a show, and next year is only a few weeks away. So I will talk to you soon. Take care.